Hi, friends from the comic book and manga world. My name is G, and I'll be sharing some of my picks for the May 16th FOC. I work for Penguin Random House and manage sales into the direct comic book market around the world. The titles I'll talk about are from those imprints and publishers that we can sell into those markets. We are also on Facebook and Instagram, so check us out at PRH International Comics, where we post some interesting news and content. And first up, we have one of my picks. I say one of my picks, it's just my picks this week. So this is Loved and Lost, a relationship trilogy by Jeffrey Brown. This goes on sale June 14th by IDW. Now, Jeffrey Brown obviously he has previous works. He's very well known, but his previous works include Batman, Robin, and Howard. And also, I first learned about Jeffrey Brown through the Darth Vader and Son title, which was very popular when it came out years ago. It was quite a while ago when that came out. So this one is quite interesting because it's an autobiographical portrayal of young love and everyday life. As you see Jeffrey Brown as a young artist struggling with the art world in the sense that he desperately wanted to create something real to put out to the world. And so he decided to jot down his memories through this, which you'll see here. And just by looking at the art alone, let me go ahead and move on to the next slide where you can see some interior images. It's very like sketchy, and even the text itself, like it looks like it's written by hand, right? And it's very much reflective of the story in the sense where it's a very intimate and honest and raw portrayal that you see here. I'm such a huge fan. Like anytime I see that an artist puts out either a memoir or a story about their experience, I jump on it immediately because there's just something about reading about that experience that draws me in. So if this is something that sounds appealing to you, I think it's such an interesting piece of work that you should experience. Definitely go ahead and pick it up. And this is like a dramatic shift. But the next one I had to. This is the Muscle Girl Next Door, and this comes out on June 21st by Seven Seas. Oh gosh, everything about this just calls my attention. This is about this character that you'll see here on the front. He's like very skinny, is self-conscious about his body, and he puts on this cool front to protect his soft heart. And he has a crush on his neighbor who, as you can see here, is ripped and buff. And he's like trying to figure out a way to get closer to her and to learn more about her. And as you'll see next, he tries to do it by going to the gym. He's like, "Oh, let me see if I can, strike up a conversation." You see her like going at it with the weights. And I just love there's a reversal here like on the next page, like on the second page here, where like you see her intimately like touching his face, and like this is such I'm into a lot of dramas, whether it be J dramas, K dramas, Thai dramas. It's like I'm into it all. And I could see this done in live action because I the the tropes that I love, I could see this doing well there. As you could tell, this is like one of my top picks. I mean, all of these are my top picks, but I'm so excited for when this comes out. So, yep. And next up, I'm going to go over some of my picks for my favorite cover art for this week's FOC. And the next one that we have here is New Fantastic Four. This is issue number 1. This is the Zulo variant. The Zulo, we actually talked about their artwork prior. This is the Hulk issue number 7, the Thor issue number 25 connecting variant, which I thought was so cool. And if you see it, it's very well done and striking. I just love the cartoony character designs that Zula does. And this isn't any different. Like this is cool. I love it. I love Wolverine's face in this one. So you have Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, and Hulk. Did I mention them all? I think I did. Who are now part of. They're basically this like the title implies, the New Fantastic Four. This is written by Peter David and illustrated by Alan Robinson. And obviously, you have the cover art here by Zulo. All right, next up for my pick. I'm pretty sure I talked about this before, but like these next two titles, I definitely talked about before, but it deserves another look. And I don't think I talked about the couple variant though, the cover art for that, and it's beautiful. I love it as well. It's with this and the covers that are coming out for uh, Marvel Voices Pride that I'm not sure which cover I want because they're just also great. This one interests me, especially since I don't know if you've seen this in the news, but this came up again recently because Charlie Jane Anders, uh, who is part of this anthology, is introducing a new character who is trans, who's a mutant, and uh, their name is Escapade. And Escapade has very interesting powers. So Escapade, what they could essentially do is, in any situation, they're able to swap. So for instance, like it could be swapping physical location with another person, or it could be switching anything that's physical or abstract, like switching a possession or switching skills, superhero powers, that type of thing, which lends itself to, like, I could imagine very interesting scenarios that could be played here, especially with a writer like Charlie Jane Anders. And if you haven't ever read anything by her, I first learned about her through her prose work, so I highly recommend checking that out. All the Birds in the Sky is quite one of her popular works if you're into speculative fiction. So definitely recommend checking this out. There are other obviously writers that is part of this that I'm very curious to read through. But most recently in the news, you'll see that a character pop up because of their appearance here. All right, next up we have, and again, this is something. Well, if you've taken a look at our Instagram, which I highly recommend doing, because we'll post news on there. I did post about this, and mostly because I'm so excited. So I don't know if you ever encountered this before, but for me, this came out digital first through Infinity Comics on Marvel Unlimited, and with if you've ever checked out Infinity Comics, I highly recommend doing so. It's very interesting. It's vertical format, very webtoony in a way. And so when I first heard about this coming out physically, I was all about it. I've been waiting for this release, still waiting for this release to come out. And of course, we have very beautiful covers. You have one by Momoko, which is the main cover here. And then you have the Chio variant, which is very anime-like, that I very much enjoy. not gonna go too deep into this because, again, I'm pretty sure this was talked about before. It needs another moment because of what it is. And lastly, for today, we always have some sort of news, and this is this is like a merge of. I'm just gonna show you. So next up is Seven Seas, which they'll license X, Yakuza, and Stray Kitten manga series. It's just everything that I love. I love cats. I love reading about reformed like gangster stories or Yakuza stories. I just love that type of narrative. And so it melds these two things together. It very much reminds me of House Husband, but centralized on this cat. So, like in many stories having to deal with stray kittens, there is a rainy day. Yes, there has to be a rainy day, and this shivering tiny kitten is abandoned on the side of the road, and this kitten is like, "Oh no, it's cold, and I'm sad." And yet, this retired Yakuza boss happens upon this kitten, and this kitten's like, "Oh no, the worst has happened. The scary dude is coming towards me. What do I do? Like, this is scary." But turns out, he has a warm heart, and he likes to. He wants to do everything for this cat to cuddle it, to do everything to pamper this kitten. And yes, this is everything. This is what I want. I want to read about this. And so I love the face of the Yakuza boss on the front image here. Beautiful, beautiful. So this is expected to come out for the first time, actually physically in English sometime in November. I don't know why I'm struggling with words today, but sometime in November of this year. So that's it for today. Please take note that the opinions that I made in this video is my own, and it doesn't reflect the opinions of Penguin Random House, its imprints, its publishers, or the publishers that we represent. So if you enjoyed content like this, feel free to add a like, subscribe to our channel, and come back more. We do this every week. It's a lot of fun for me in particular, and I hope you have fun watching as well. So with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bye.